It's the trade deadline, so
out there, they're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
stopping time!
Period.
Gotta love them!
Where players dash with skates aflash, the home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees, they travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside, it's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name
It's the good old hockey game. Gotta love stopping time. Third period.
Last game of the playoffs, too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the chance to win the drink. Now the final flick of the hockey stick and the one gigantic scream.
The puck is in! The Jackets win the good old hockey game! And I love you guys! And welcome to Andy Alfred right here, a production of Clayfan 2-3. I am your host, Andy Alfred, coming to you from the Man Cave Studios in East Toledo, Ohio. Good to have you on the program today. We have a busy day on tap today on the program. Of course, we have Major League Baseball spring training going on right now. We're getting ready also for the NCAA men's basketball tournament as well. But of course, today is one of the biggest days besides Ash Wednesday. Of course, you can see on the forehead, Ash Wednesday, as I am a devoted Catholic. Of course, celebrating the holiday of the start of Lent season, of course. But also today is Wednesday, March the 5th, 2014. The NHL trade deadline has finally come and gone at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and a lot of trades made news yesterday. Of course, Roberto Luongo going back to his home team of the Florida Panthers. That was one of the big market pickups as well too. But some late breaking news from the Blue Jacket country. I'll read this as follows right now. It is a done deal between the LA Kings and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Jackets will send forward Marian Gaborik to the LA Kings. In exchange, it will be Nick Schultz and Matt Flatten, a forward, and also for a 2014 or 15 second-round pick and a conditional third-round pick as well, too. Also, here's some other breaking news, too. Like I said, Nick Schultz was traded from the Edmonton Oilers to the Blue Jackets for a fifth-round pick in the 2014 draft. Also looking at some of the other picks as well, too. Halak going to the Capitals in exchange for Rostislav Klesla, the former Blue Jacket, and Niviantin, the goaltender, for Buffalo, and the Capitals will get a 2015 third-round pick and Halak as well, too. Tomo Ruutu is now a member of the New Jersey Devils. He was traded from the Carolina Hurricanes for Andrei Lukanov as well, too, a forward, and a 2017 conditional third-round pick. But the big news of the day, of course, is no Kessel. Kessel has not been moved yet, as of yet. We're also looking at Steven Stamkos coming back in the lineup as well, too. Alex Hensky was traded today to the Ottawa Senators as well. And David Legwand is now an official Detroit Red Wing. That is made official as of right now. So a lot of the last-minute deals now coming into the trade deadline rumor mill. We'll see what happens. You can check out NHL.com for more about this trade. But, you know, Marian Gaborik, the whole Gaborik deal, and I want to explain about this to you Jacket fans, and especially to my Jacket fans here. You know, this is a very interesting move for the Jackets. Gaborik just coming back off of the IR, coming back, trying to get healthy again, and we trade him away to LA. Good pickup, but, you know, draft picks wise, I really don't like the move, especially when we're trying to be in a playoff contention hunt. We'll see what happens with that, and it'll be it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see how the Jackets will rebound after this. A very big win the last two nights as they defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs Monday night 2-1, and then last night defeating the Dallas Stars in their game last night as the Jackets improved their record right now. Overall, the Jackets will have tonight off, but in the NHL this evening, it goes like this. Right now, it will be the Capitals taking on the Flyers. Of course, Toronto on the road to take on the New York Rangers as well. A couple other late games as well going on too. But it will be interesting to see how the Jackets improve on such, and to see how they will perform. Other notable games as well too tonight. Anaheim hosting the Montreal Canadiens in Calgary. The other late game taking on the Ottawa Senators. And like I said, the Jackets a big win last night over the Dallas Stars at Nationwide Arena. Gets themselves back into the hunt of things. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Jackets do going down the stretch. And especially during this late run that they're going to be having here, when they had to play a lot of teams on the road, and it'll be interesting. After last night's game, Columbus will now have to go and play. As I pull up the schedule right now, they'll go on the road to play on the Blackhawks tomorrow night at United Center. Then on the road to Nashville, on the road to play Dallas before returning home to play this upcoming Tuesday against the Detroit Red Wings club. That's a very good club. We have not played the Red Wings yet this season, since early this season, and it will be it's going to be an interesting ride for the Jackets this season against Detroit. Both home games for Detroit against Detroit this year, so it will be interesting to say the least. Looking at the wild card standing now, looking at the standings in the NHL, this is what it looks like. The Jackets are in a wild card position. They are the second wild card position. The holding right now in the first wild card position is the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs in control of that, in that first wild card position as well too. And you can't count. Boston is probably going to win the Atlantic Division. Montreal in second place. They got 75 points. Looking at also other teams notable in the thing, Tampa Bay 73 points. Pittsburgh in the Metropolitan Division leading it with 86 points. They're probably going to win the Eastern Conference overall. And then also looking at it, it's New York and Washington, New York and Philadelphia, are the two teams trying to be that 1-2 punch in the Metropolitan Division. That's how it's really going to roll the rest of the way out. And Detroit on the outside looking in this wild card position as well too. Well, tonight it's game 3 for Dan Watson, the new head coach of the Toledo Walleye. It's the Walleye take on the South Carolina Stingrays before hitting the road upcoming. And if you don't know about Dan Watson, this will mark Dan Watson's third game as a Walleye head coach. He's been an assistant coach with the Toledo Walleyes. Played 3 years with the Serenata Sting of the OHL and appeared in 202 consecutive games. But he is a former Blue Jacket. Of course. He signed a contract with the Blue Jackets in 2000 and has played 7 professional seasons within the UHL, AHL, and the ECHL. He also played with the Storm in 2006-2007. He's played 447 games, 23 goals, 66 assists, and 394 penalty minutes. He was also named the Defensive Player of the Year with the Long Beach Ice Dogs in 2004-05 and was named captain of Long Beach in 04-05 and 05-06. So Dan Watson, now the head coach of the Walleye, 0-2 to start off as their head coach for this season. This new season, of course, but it'll be interesting to see how he does. And I've mentioned this on this show many of times. It's a possibility that we could go out and get Claude Noel. I would love it. I would love to see Claude back behind the bench. I know a lot of people say that he should be given another chance in Toledo, especially the experience that he's gotten so far in the NHL. You know, he's not doing anything right now, so Napoli, you want to bring back some Toledo hockey heritage. Claude Noel is the man to do that. He used to coach the Storm and used to play for the Gold Diggers. It's a win-win. What's stopping you? Is it the 19 inches of ice covering Fifth Third Field right now? And if you drove him by Fifth Third Field yet and you've seen the big dome, 19 inches of ice underneath the field, really? They just want to make you pay attention to the field. Remember, baseball's right here. Hockey's sucking right now. We're getting ready for baseball. Well, they are in action tonight. They'll take on the South Carolina Stingrays at 7:15. Yours truly will be there. Of course, rooting on the Fish to a victory. Hopefully they can get a victory, because right now they are really stinking up the place right now. In other games in the ECHL tonight, Evansville is on the road. They'll take on Cincinnati. And you also have, it looks like Bakersfield in action as well too tonight. They'll take it's actually Ontario taking on Colorado, and Las Vegas on the road to take on the Idaho Steelheads. Those are the 4 games in the ECHL. Looking at the standings right now in the East Coast Hockey League, it goes as this right now. And I don't think you're going to like this, Walleye fans. The Walleye are in dead last in the American Conference. Dead last. I cannot believe it. From playoffs to dead last. It shows that, you know, Vitusi was the reason. Now we've seen that he's out, and we're 2 games out of him running the ship. And what proves it right now? What proves it right now? We stink on the power play, we stink on defense, and we can't put the puck in the back of the net that much. So if you're gonna tell me that Vitusi was the reason why this team was still halfway good, you might as well put a gun in your mouth and shoot. Because I can't stand the guy. And he's going to stay in the organization. Player development. You gotta be kidding me. It's about as bad as giving a... It's a bad decision. It is a horrible decision to keep Vitusi in. He should have nothing to do with the organization anymore. Stick with the Alumni Association. That's what's best for him. And I think that would be an awesome decision for him. Watson is a good coach. Let him coach. South Carolina's in first place in the ECHL. They're 34-17-2. 73 points in the American Conference. Eastern Conference. Orlando's in second. And I've said this on this program, and I will say it again. Orlando is a very good club. One of the best. And the fans down there, they don't get the credit that they deserve. Because it's Orlando. It's the Amway Center. Orlando is a very, very good hockey club. I've watched them play. They're going to be a contending team in the East Coast Hockey League come playoff time. A little bit of a struggle on the power play. But other than that, they're a very good club. What I've seen of them against a horrible Walleye team. But what I've listened to them a couple games against Kalamazoo. Having the breakout game, that one play on ESPN Top 10, that stops it up. But I think it's the best choice to maybe pick Orlando to win the East Coast Hockey League Championship this year in the Kelly Cup. Just saying, making that bold prediction early this season, because we all know it's not going to be the Walleye. Walleye are 16-33-3 with 36 points. The next closest team is Gwinnett. They're 21-31-2 with 46 points. They're 10 points ahead. of Toledo. So Toledo will finish dead last in the East Coast Hockey League. Now it's the race between who's going to finish dead last in all the ECHL. We know it's not going to be San Francisco, because San Francisco is out of the ECHL. Las Vegas is the worst team in the ECHL. They're 13-34-4-2 with 32 points. Toledo is the second worst with a record of 16-33-3-1 with 36 points. The next two teams closest to that is Gwinnett and Elmira. I mean, the whole Western Conference is a very good conference in the East Coast Hockey League with Alaska, Ontario, Bakersfield. Bakersfield's decent too. There's at least all their teams, except for Las Vegas, is above 500 in the East Coast Hockey League. The only three teams that are below 500 in the East Coast Hockey League are Elmira, Gwinnett, Toledo, and Las Vegas. Those four are the only teams that are underneath. But Toledo can still fill the building. Las Vegas can't fill the building because it's Las Vegas. Nobody goes to watch the Wranglers play hockey. It's just a sidebar little thing in that little city, in that big, big city that has everything. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and those players are staying in Vegas. And that team's going to stay in Vegas too, because they're a very good club. But the NHL and the ECHL, comparable to what's happening on the Diamond. Baseball is arriving. And of course, the Tigers were in action this afternoon. They took on the Houston Astros and get a big win, 3-0, over the Houston Astros. And right now, in the bottom of the sixth inning, the Indians are losing to the Seattle Mariners 5-1. Only one run scored was by Adams from the Indians, minor leaguer. And the Tribe is losing right now. They're 5-1 overall in Cactus League action. So we'll see what happens. It's early on in the season. Baseball's going along. And looking at some of the standings in spring training, I mean, it's early. It's early. You can't judge it. I'll have Nick DeVera on the program here, upcoming soon here. We're planning either for Friday or maybe taping it Friday and airing it on Monday. We're planning on having him on the program. We're going to break down his selections as well, too. You can read his blog. It is the baseballhipster.mlbblogs.com. He will be in studio with us, and we'll talk about what this season's going to mean for baseball with the new instant replay rules. We're going to break down each division and each player. We'll see what happens with that, Especially, I want to get his opinion about Ian Kinsler and what he had to say about the Texas Ranger organization. We'll talk about the Yankees as well too. This is Jeter's last run around. We'll see what happens with that. But tonight, of course, in action, the Walleye in action taking on South Carolina. We'll break that down for you guys tomorrow on the next edition of All Andy Alfred as we get you set up for the spring break edition of All Andy Alfred right here on Clayfan 23. But until tomorrow, when I'll be back on the air with you guys tomorrow, right around 3 o'clock. Until then, I am Andy Alfred, and I hope you have a terrific rest of the evening. Go Fish! I don't think they're going to win because it's South Carolina. They're the best team in the East Coast Hockey League. Just saying. So go Walleye. Maybe pull up the upset tonight. So to your teams, and to mine as well, the Blue Jackets, and the Tigers, Indians, so much more. Victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat, and I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together, the game of life. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of All Andy Alfred, and I hope you have a good evening, and love you guys.